what's up? This is TJ. How you doing? Thanks for joining me. Today we're taking a look at the Roland AE30, the Aerophone Pro, and using it with Roland's Cloud software, as well as their Zenology Pro. That is the editor that allows you to get your very own sounds into this great wind synthesizer. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the basics of Roland Cloud. I'll go through some of the structure of Zenology Pro and how you can create your sounds, and or how you can get the sounds that are already there into your AE30. And later on, we'll talk about a little bit of the pros and cons that I see with the way it's currently set up. If you like the video, please do share, subscribe to this channel. Thanks so much for your support. We're going to get started. All right, so the first thing you need to do in order to get your Aerophone Pro, the AE30, to work with Roland Cloud as well as Zenology Pro is you need to download the latest 2.0 firmware that came out about a couple months ago. All right, so let's take a look at that. You got to go to the Roland website for the Aerophone Pro, and you want to click the downloads. It'll say System Program 2.0 here. Click on that, or grab the latest version, whatever it is by the time you see this video. And it'll give you instructions on how to download it, and you want to scroll all the way down for the download. You have to agree and download the file. You're going to need one of these. This is a USB thumb drive. You'll see here this has two different ends on it. This is USB 3.0 that actually also works on USB 2.0. You'll note that it has a little blue thing in there. Okay, and this is a USB-C. So this will allow you to connect to your computer. Okay, so you can actually put the downloaded file on here, what's known as a bin file. And here, this allows you to connect into the Aerophone Pro over here. So you can transfer the file into the Aerophone Pro. Very handy thing to have. You're also going to probably want to need this for when you want to get the sounds into the Aerophone Pro. So take a look at that. Okay, so step 2 in getting this all set up is you got to download Roland Cloud. So you go to rolandcloud.com. You'll see this right here. You'll see right here you can download the Cloud Manager. I've already done that, obviously. So download the manager and install it. It's free. You do need to set up an account with Roland Cloud. Very easy to do. That's also free. And with that, you get a 30-day free trial of Roland's Ultimate package, so to speak, and that package includes everything that you can ever get within Roland Cloud. So definitely take a look at that and take advantage of it. All right, so now you've downloaded and installed Roland Cloud. Once you do, you'll see at the top of your screen here, there's this little icon. It is like a little musical note. Click on that. It'll ask you to open the app. And if you're already signed in, you'll have that available for you right away, or you do need to sign in. Okay, let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. All right, now this is your welcome screen over here, okay? And with that, you're going to see the news page and so forth. So we're going to go under the hood and take a deep dive into this to show you around. Let's check that out. All right, so when you go into Roland Cloud, this is the first screen that you're going to see. This is your news screen. It gives you the latest offerings that are available from Roland Cloud that you can download into it. And right now, you want to probably take a look at your membership options. Right here, you have two different options for membership. You can be a member on a monthly basis or an annual basis. The annual basis is a little less expensive if you want to choose that, or if you just want to try it out on a monthly basis, you can go that way. Let's take a look at what you have here. You have what's known as Core, Pro, and Ultimate, and they have different levels of access for Roland Cloud. Let's take a look at Pro to give you an example. You'll see here that when you sign up, you get right here the Zenology Lite software. I'll explain that in a moment. and you also get access for 30 days to everything that is available that you would normally get in the highest level, which is the ultimate level here. And you can see the checklist of things that are available. In order for you to have Zenology Pro, so you can do the editing, you have to at least sign up for the Pro access. The Core access does not have Zenology Pro, you see here. But it does have Zenology Lite. And Zenology Lite is essentially a version of Zenology Pro that doesn't allow you to do editing, but it does allow you to download all of the sounds that are currently in Zenology. And there's literally hundreds, if not thousands, of sounds that you can download. If you're not into programming your own sounds, that's probably the best deal for you. You can download them, save them on your computer, and then you can put them into your Roland AE30 and to your heart's delight. You can do that within the first 30 days if you have time, and it won't cost you a thing. However, if you want to do your own programming of your own sounds, like I like to do, you're going to sign up for at least Zenology Pro. I signed up for the Ultimate because the Ultimate also allows for all these different VST plugins that I can use on my computer for all these classic Roland kind of sounds. All right, so once you're signed in for your free trial of Roland Cloud, what you want to do is you want to go down to here, and this is the hardware section. Click the hardware, and you see I've already done up here on the top, I've clicked the AE30. There's all kinds of different types, say for the Jupiter XM, the MC101, and 707 drum boxes and so forth, but you want to come all the way over here to the AE30. And over on this side, you'll see these are all of the different sound sets that are compatible with the AE30. Really a ton of stuff here. I mean, you can spend every day of your 30-day trial downloading all this stuff and, using it later on for your AE30. If you come to the top, though, you'll see right away there's these three that were created by Matt Traub. Matt Traub is famously from the Patchman Music, and these are essentially a set for the AE30. They make great building blocks for creating your own sounds that are especially designed for the AE30. Once you decide which ones you want, they will show up here in your library. And you have the opportunity to go through the library. Again, there's tons of stuff here. We won't spend all the time doing that. There's tons of stuff in the library. If there's updates, they will show up here in your library, and you can have updates as long as you're subscribed. All right, so let's have a look at Zenology Pro. First thing you need to know is Zenology Pro is a plugin. You need a host for that, a plugin host. That's usually a DAW, something like Logic here, or Ableton, or Bitwig, or Cubase, all those types of plugin hosts that you can use. So we'll pull it up here. And you're first met with this screen here. This is the same screen as you're going to see with Zenology Lite. Okay, if you don't want to bother making your own sounds, but you want to have access to all of Roland's sounds, this is what you should get. You don't necessarily need Zenology Pro, and there are like hundreds, if not thousands, of sounds here. Can't say I've ever counted them all myself, but there are lots of sounds here that you can pull down, you can download them, you can save them on your computer and use them later in your AE30. So very, very cool. But if you do want to make your own sounds, you need to go with the Pro version. And if you hit Edit here, okay, and we're going to go to the Visual Edit, this is the full screen for Zenology Pro. Now, like the Zenology Lite, you have this small screen right here, and this gives you some macro controls for the different sounds. That being the cutoff for the filter, the resonance for the filter, attack and release for the envelopes, and vibrato. It also allows you to set up the modes, that being whether or not it's in mono mode, so it only plays one note at a time, unison mode, where it actually plays one of many voices at a time, I should say, legato mode, and portamento modes. So very, very cool. And right over here, this is your structure of Zenology. Very, very powerful synth engine. There are basically two different types of synthesis going on here. There's additive as well as subtractive. And there are some other subtypes in there, such as frequency modulation. So I'm going to quickly go through the sound engine here. You have 4 different partials right here. And that is the additive part of that. Each one of those partials you can add together and create one full sound. So you can have a piano as one partial, a noise as another partial. You can have a virtual analog synthesizer sound as another partial. And then you can have like a supersaw or something else as another partial. You can add them all together. And each one of those partials, you'll see, has a signal flow that goes beyond that. And that signal flow is the subtractive part of the synthesizer. Each partial has its own signal flow. So very, very powerful stuff here. In that signal flow, you're going to see envelopes, low frequency oscillators, filters, the amp and EQ. So very, very powerful stuff there. Real quick, let's go into the edit screen here. This is the visual edit. This is where you can select the partial and what type of partial that you're going to use. Right now, you're looking at the virtual analog for this given sound here that I've created. Grindy lead kind of sound. You can also look at PCM, that's pulse code modulation. That's Roland's format for sampling. So if you want a piano sound, string sounds, orchestra sounds, horn sounds, they've got that all here. And you can actually layer 2 of them if you want to. So if you want a piano and a string sound, say, for example, you can do that within one of the partials. Again, there's the virtual analog, as I mentioned. Then they have PCM sync. These are samples of single cycle waveforms that all have distinctive tonality to them. There is a supersaw. Supersaw is a saw wave that's multiplied several times in different phasing. It gives a very distinctive type of sound. And then there is a noise oscillator here. Next, you have the LFOs. There's 2 LFOs per partial. Okay, so there's actually 8 LFOs total. That's pretty incredible. All different types of waveforms for the LFOs. Moving on, you have envelopes for pitch, envelopes for the filter, and envelope for the amp here. And then with the filter types, you have tons of different filters: low pass, band pass, high pass, package type of filter, different low pass filters. You have an emulation of the Jupiter filter as well as the Prophet 5 filter. So lots of really cool different choices there for you. And that doesn't stop right there. You know, you have what's called Pro Edit here. Pro Edit allows for you to actually have a number of deep dive editing functions. And there are tons of those. I won't go through all of those for the video, but you can scroll all the way through them. Even down at the bottom, there is a full and complete modulation matrix. So you can do a lot of, cool modulating type of sounds. Very, very awesome stuff. Lastly, you have effects. You have a number of effects that are available, all kinds of different types of effects that you can put into the sound. All right, awesome. You created your own new sound. Congratulations. Awesome. And now you want to get that sound into your AE30. Well, of course you do, right? Well, again, you're going to need one of these little guys, the thumb drive. And let me show you how to do that. Okay. You want to come over here to the right. And you'll see here that you have the screen coming up. And you'll see I've created a bank for myself. Okay, that's TJ's AE30, and I have 5 different sounds that I created over the last day or so. Okay, but first thing you want to do when you actually try to do this, you want to set up your own bank. You do that here by just clicking New. Okay, put New Bank or whatever you want to call it. And that way you can save your own sounds into that bank, because that bank is what you're going to use to save into the thumb drive. So again, I'm going to go back to my AE30, okay, and I'm going to export it down here. Now I need to get the thumb drive into my computer. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, so let's take that. We want to export it. All right, we want to export it for hardware. All right, you'll see my thumb drive is right down here, so I want to go here. Click on Roland. All right, you want to click on the sound. You'll see I have one here from before, and I want to save. All right, so now that saved that onto my thumb drive. Now I need to take the thumb drive out, and I need to get it into the AE30. Let's do that next. Okay, now we got all our sound files onto our thumb drive. Now we need to get them into the AE30. So we're going to take our thumb drive, the C port here. All right, we're going to plug that in here. All right, and this is the power on switch over here. I'm going to turn it on, but I'm going to hold down the menu button. All right, and that's going to put it into the great mode in order to load in the files. So keep holding it down. Here we go, until you see this screen here. Let's see if I can get it into the video. There we go. All right, and you want to move over. All right, till it says import tone. Okay, so hit the menu. All right, yes, you want to import that tone. Okay. Now, DreamPad, if you remember, I had already had one in there. I don't want that one. I want the next one. So it says there's 2 total. All right. So there I want. That is the bank I'm looking for, the TJ's AE30, such as I've created on the Zenology Pro. Okay. So yes, I want that one. All right. I want to hit menu. All right, and remember the name, the grind lead, there it is. Okay, there's 5 of those presets, and that's going to load that into the next set of initialized free banks, free sounds that are available within the AE30. So I'm going to hit menu again. All right, see, it says initial tone, that's where I want it, and that's the location. Again, and again, and I want to hit yes. And there it says that it has been completed. So awesome. Hit the menu to get out of that. Now I need to reboot the AE30 and take the thumb drive out beforehand. So I'm going to turn it off here. Take out the thumb drive. And then I'm going to turn back the AE30 on. Make sure you can see that. There we are. Here we go. And there it is. And then I can actually scroll and see for the next given sound that I have. Here, let's see if I can find it. There it is. The grind lead. Awesome stuff. Now, I will say this all process is a little bit cumbersome. Okay, I don't think anybody would disagree with me with that. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think the AE30 really needs to take this thing to the next level. All right, hey, that's it. This is the Roland AE30, and now you get to know how to use it with the Roland Cloud and Zenology Pro software. Really, really happy that this is out. If you had seen my initial review of the AE30, you'll know one of my criticisms with it, or wish lists with it, was that you could roll your own sounds, make your own sounds with this. It's supposed to be a synthesizer, and that's what you're supposed to be able to do with a synthesizer, in my opinion. If you watch this channel, you know that I make all my own sounds for all my synths and all my gear, so I wanted to be very original with this. You can only use the factory sounds before, with some edits with the app editor, you know, for your phone or your iPad or whatever. But now you can roll your own sounds with it, so that's really, really awesome. I very much appreciate Roland has come out with that. I do have one other wish list, though, for it to take it to the next level. This synthesizer, if it's truly going to be called a synthesizer, really does need its own dedicated standalone editor. Why? Well, you know, Roland's come out with the Jupiter X editor, the XM editor. They came out with the TR8S editor just recently. These things are great. They take those synthesizers and that drum machine to the next level of usability. And this is an expensive piece of gear. It deserves its own editor. Roland, give us wind players some love. If you're already working on it, I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm available for beta testing if you're so inclined. All right, so that's it. Thanks so much for watching the video. Please do share it, subscribe to the channel, check out tjontheroad.com for more. I so much appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time.